In an extraordinary and deeply unsettling moment for South Africa's democratic history, President Cyril Ramaphosa exited Parliament under a cascade of boos, jeers, and visible disdain from lawmakers and onlookers alike. The chaotic scene unfolded during what was meant to be a routine address to the National Assembly, a session that quickly devolved into a searing indictment of Ramaphosa's leadership, integrity, and the crumbling public trust in the ANC's once proud legacy. The president, visibly shaken, attempted to maintain composure as opposition MPs rose one after another, leveling scathing accusations and refusing to yield the floor. Accusations of state capture failures, economic mismanagement, load-shedding disasters, and corruption cover-ups echoed throughout the chamber. For many, this wasn't just parliamentary theatrics, it was the audible frustration of a nation boiling over. When the speaker finally managed to restore a semblance of order, Ramaphosa stood to speak only to be drowned out by a thunderous chorus of boos, clapping, and chants of a step down from across the benches. Even some within the ANC ranks sat in uncomfortable silence, their heads lowered, their allegiance to the president clearly fractured. Then, in a moment that will be replayed in news cycles and history books alike, Ramaphosa abruptly ended his address. Without a proper conclusion or a response to the charges hurled his way, he closed his folder, exchanged a few tight-lipped words with the speaker, and walked out. The exit was anything but presidential. It was hurried, humiliating, and deeply symbolic. A leader, once hailed as the clean-up man of the post-Zuma era, now seemingly crushed by the same weight of scandal and incompetence that he once vowed to purge. South Africans across the country watched in disbelief. Social media exploded within minutes. The hashtag Ramaphosa resign began trending as citizens expressed fury, disappointment, and, in some corners, sheer despair. "He was our last hope," one user tweeted. "Now we're leaderless and broken." The outrage, however, wasn't spontaneous. It had been building steadily. From the fallout of the Fela farm scandal, where millions in undeclared foreign currency were allegedly stolen from Ramaphosa's property and hidden from tax authorities, to the worsening energy crisis that's left towns in darkness and businesses in ruin, the cracks in his leadership had become impossible to ignore. Despite repeated promises of reform, Ramaphosa's presidency has been haunted by indecisiveness, political infighting within the ANC, and a growing perception that he is out of touch with the daily suffering of ordinary South Africans. His once celebrated New Dawn narrative has, for many, become a cruel joke in a country where unemployment remains staggeringly high, crime is rampant, and trust in public institutions has hit rock bottom. Opposition leaders wasted no time in capitalizing on the dramatic walkout. Julius Malema of the EFF declared, "What you saw today was not a president. That was a coward. Cyril Ramaphosa is finished." DA leader John Steenhuisen added, "If Ramaphosa still has any respect for this nation, he will resign immediately. South Africa deserves better." As night fell, speculation swirled about possible moves within the ANC's National Executive Committee to initiate a recall, mirroring the unceremonious ousting of Jacob Zuma. Party insiders, speaking on condition of anonymity, hinted that a leadership crisis meeting had already been called behind closed doors. But regardless of what happens next politically, the damage is done. What unfolded in Parliament was not just a political crisis, it was a moment of national heartbreak. The president didn't just leave the room. He left a gaping hole where leadership should have been. And the people noticed.